The distributive property is used when you have a problem that looks like this. So I have 4 times the quantity x plus 3. And in this problem, if I was going to use order of operations, I would do parentheses first, right? Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. P stands for parentheses. But if I look at this problem, I can't do my parentheses first. You know why I can't do it? Because I don't know what x is. What is x? It's some mystery number, right? It's an unknown value. That's what a variable means. So I can't do parentheses first. I can't, because I don't know what x plus 3 is. Maybe it's 7. Maybe it's -2. I don't know. But if there are parentheses, I have to do those first. But I can't. So we use the distributive property. So here are the steps I want you to write down. The first step you do is I want you to circle the number outside the parentheses. I want you to circle the number outside the parentheses. Because when a number touches parentheses, what does that mean? Multiply. So I circle the number outside. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw arrows to every number inside. And you just said, I just heard you say, that when a number touches parentheses, it means multiply. So once you draw your arrows, that's our visual clue, we're going to multiply the outside number to the inside numbers. So I circle the outside number. The number outside the parentheses, I circle it. Then I draw arrows to every number on the inside. And next, I multiply the outside number to the inside numbers. So let's practice. 4 times x plus 3. So I'm going to go step by step. I'm going to circle the number 4. I'm going to draw an arrow from the number 4 to the letter x, the variable x. And I'm going to draw an arrow from the number 4 to the number 3. And ladies and gentlemen, if I cover that up, right, it's just the number 3. Does that make sense? Okay. Then I multiply, and I understand this is a little tedious right now, but we're just learning. These are our notes. I'm going to do 4 times x, and I'm going to do 4 times positive 3. Do I need to write the positive? No, because the positive's implied. But it's positive 3. What's 4 times x? Do you know? So I can just write 4x. I can just combine them. Do you know what 4 times 3 is? What? That looks funny, doesn't it? Is it positive 12 or negative 12? So I'm going to put a plus sign because it's positive. And that's my answer, you guys. My answer is a math problem. 4x plus 12. You're done. That's the distributive property. I took the number 4 and I gave it to the x and I gave it to the 3. So let's try this. 8 times 3x minus 2. Can you do parentheses? Do you know what 3x minus 2 is? Do you know what the x value is? Nope. So I can't do it. So I'm going to circle the number outside. I'm going to draw arrows inside. But here's the tricky part, ladies and gentlemen. If I take out, right, and I do 8 times 3x, correct? That 3x is now gone. What's left behind? Negative 2 is left behind. So it's 8 times negative 2. Do you know what 8 times 3x is? But do you know what 8 times 3 is? What is it? 24x. And what's 8 times negative 2? Negative 16. And I'm good to go. That's the answer. No, it's not minus negative 16. It's negative 16 is my answer. Just like up here, it says minus 2, but when I remove the 3x, I'm left with negative 2. If I remove the 4x, I read it as positive 12. But since the 4x is there, it's read as plus 12. So let's try the next one. Negative 3 times the quantity 4y minus 2. Negative 3 times the quantity 4y minus 2. I'm going to circle. I'm going to draw my arrows. And I'm going to multiply. Negative 3 times 4y. What's the second problem that I'm going to do? Negative 3 times what? What? If I cover up the 4y because I took it away, it's not 2, it's negative 2. All right, I don't know what this is, negative 3 times 4y, because there's a variable. But I do know what negative 3 times 4 is. What's negative 3 times 4? Negative 12, and then bring the y down. What's negative 3 times negative 2?
Positive
6, positive 6, right? But that looks funny. So I'm going to add in the positive sign, which means that it is also read as a plus sign. And I'm good to go. Let's try this one. Negative 4 times negative 5x minus 3y. Negative 4 times negative 5x minus 3y. So I'm going to circle negative 4. I'm going to draw an arrow from negative 4 to negative 5x and to negative 3y, correct? It's not us. So here we go. Let's multiply. Negative 4 times negative 5x. And I now have negative 4 times negative 3y. Don't forget about those negatives. It's so easy to drop a negative on accident. What's negative 4 times negative 5? Positive 20x. What's negative 4 times negative 3? 12y. Why does that look funny? There's no sign in the middle. It's hiding from us. It's positive, so I put a plus. Another example. Y times 8 minus x. Now here's something you can do. I really don't like having variables that are all alone. I can put a 1 with it, because that's really 1y. 1y and y are the same. So can I put a 1 over here with the x? Yeah. It makes me feel better when they have values with them, because I understand multiplying numbers. So I'm going to circle 1y. Yep. I'm going to draw an arrow to the 8. And I'm going to draw an arrow to the negative 1x. So I have 1y times 8 as my first. Cameron, you're missing a lot of examples. And 1y minus negative 1x. Do not forget, when you cover up the 8, because I already used it, I'm left with negative 1x. What's 1 times 8? Bring the y along. What's 1 times negative 1? Negative 1 yx. Because there's a y here and an x here. So they both come down. Now, there are some mathematicians out there, me, that are going to say, you know what? It's better to write xy. If you ever have two variables together, put them in alphabetical order. But right now, I don't care. If you get them both, I don't care what order they're in. So here are some reminders. Reminder number 1. The plus or minus sign, sign, inside the parentheses, right? The plus or minus sign inside the parentheses belongs to the number behind it. The plus or the minus sign inside the parentheses belongs to the number behind it, right? So that minus sign belongs to the 3y. That minus sign belongs to the 1x. The minus sign belongs to the 2. The plus sign belongs to the 3. The plus or minus sign in the parentheses belongs to the number behind it. The variables don't really do anything, do they? They're just along for the ride. right? I mean, we don't really do it. It just travels with it. And number 3 is, don't forget you might, not always, have to add in a plus sign. Don't forget, you might have to add in a plus sign.
How many notebooks do you have full with notes?
We're going to do some practice on your desk.